The Suffolk MP David Ruffley is to take indefinite sick leave after he was injured falling under a train. The Conservative Party says two neighbouring MPs will take over the running of his constituency while he receives specialist medical help.
Last week, Suffolk's MPs gathered for a photo call, but one of them was missing. David Ruffley has hardly been seen at Westminster all year. Close friends tell me he's been feeling low for some time, partly because of the expenses scandal, partly for other reasons. Last week at London's Victoria Station, he fell in front of a train and was fortunate to receive only minor injuries.
At the weekend, I received a number of telephone calls and emails expressing support for him from across the political spectrum, and obviously fellow councillors and also his fellow MPs are all rallying around.
Today, the government chief whip announced the MP was now receiving the specialist medical care he needs, and his statement said, "We're confident he'll make a full recovery." The party has been quick to put a proper backup system in place. The two neighbouring MPs, Matthew Hancock and Dan Poulter, will hold regular surgeries in Mr Ruffley's Bury St Edmunds constituency. They'll raise local issues in Parliament on his behalf.
We need to give David all of the time that he needs to make a full recovery. He's been an excellent MP for Bury St Edmunds for many years. Dan and I will be working very hard to make sure that constituents in Bury St Edmunds get the full constituency service that they've come to expect from their MP.
This is very different to what happened in Luton last year. When Margaret Moran went on extended sick leave, there were complaints the town had no representation. David Ruffley was once highly regarded within his party. It wants to see him back at Westminster. It's trying to do all it can to help. Andrew Sinclair, BBC Look East.
A husband and wife are in hospital after a shooting at a village in Norfolk. It happened in Nordelph this morning. The couple had both suffered gunshot wounds in an apparent attack at a house in the High Street. The police believe it began with a dispute between neighbours. The injuries aren't life-threatening. A 57-year-old man's been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. The chairman of Southend United says he's done nothing wrong after he was questioned by police. Ron Martins told the club website that he suffered a fall, a woman helped him up, and now he's facing what he calls an unfounded allegation. Essex police have confirmed that they've questioned a 57-year-old man from Benfleet on suspicion of sexual assault.
For the second day running, a single pothole has caused traffic misery for thousands. It's on the London-bound side of the A12 at Hatfield, Peverel in Essex and has caused huge tailbacks. Now it seems it may not be repaired until Friday.
It's only a tiny pothole, but it's still causing big delays on a stretch of the A12 where months of roadworks have just finished.
The A12 is important because it's one of Essex's main economic arteries. But despite the recent minor surgery, some drivers believe it still gets clogged far too easily.
A recent inquiry was launched to try to find ways to keep it flowing, but all too often crashes block it completely. And in the village of Hatfield, Peverel, businesses say the delays lose them money. A local tyre company says sometimes customers can't get to them through the jams.
It affects us when the traffic is quite bad because people don't want to come in, they want to go straight home, and it affects us a lot. And obviously, you know, we're a business and we need to trade, and if we can't do that, then, you know, the boss comes down on us.
Meanwhile, the broken water main that caused the pothole was being flushed through. It had been repaired, but the Highways Agency says the pothole itself may not be filled in till Friday, and that means more delays. Gareth George, BBC Look East.
A driver's been stopped going the wrong way along the M11. The woman from London was spotted heading north on the southbound carriageway near Stansted Airport. She's been charged with drink driving. The chairman of the BBC Trust has been taking questions from licence fee payers today. Sir Michael Lyons was in Norwich with other Trust members discussing the future role of the corporation. Plans to stage the Olympic mountain biking event in Essex have cleared another hurdle. A course for the 2012 event is being built in the area around Hadleigh Castle. Senior district councillors have now approved a permanent course.
With just a few months to go before the government's decision on who becomes the UK City of Culture, we've been looking at the things that make Norwich such a strong contender. Today, it's literature. Felicity Simper's been finding out about its creative writing history.
It's hard to argue Norwich isn't a hotbed of culture, and a big part of it stems from here, the University of East Anglia. Back in the 1970s, it founded its creative writing course, and it was the first of its kind in the country.
There's a sense of living in Norwich, of quality of life, and part of the quality of life is to do with the amount of cultural activities that go on, and so many of those are associated with writing and writers, and there are so many writers in Norwich, you trip over them.
The UEA spawned many famous writers such as Ian McEwan and Naomi Alderman, who's in Norwich at the moment at a writers' event.
You can basically do anything here. You've got your theatre, you've got your performing arts, you've got music, you've got literature, of course. Here I am at the World Literature Festival. You've got the MA in Creative Writing at the University of East Anglia. It's just got everything.
Once there was a lion who loved to eat. Everyone likes eating, but the lion loved it.
And for UEA creative writing student and bookseller James Elliott, getting children interested in literature is a must.
We've got a lot of kids' books, lots of different ones like picture books and young adult novels and things like this. And if we can encourage just one child to read, then obviously that's fantastic. But we try to encourage lots and lots and lots of kids, and they're so enthusiastic.
With so many writers championing one city, Norwich's literary culture is hard for others to live up to. Felicity Simper, BBC Look East, Norwich.